Armin, I wanted to ask you about what you're hearing from our community in Iran. I mean, I know it's hard to get messages out, but I do know that messages are coming out. I want to hear about how morale is doing because I'm not going to lie, the images coming out of Tehran this weekend were fucking scary. They're fucking
Yeah.
scary. And I'm really worried about the health consequences for the population after the strike on the oil depot. So that's part one. The other thing that I found very interesting was that Yair Lapid had a tweet where he was basically saying that Israel needs to focus on taking out various oil refineries, oil depots, whatever, what have you. And he referenced one specific island. And then Qasim and I can't. His is the one like Iranian name I can't say. Qassem Qassem Nejad. There we go.
Qasemi Nejad,
Um,
yes.
yes,
Yeah.
he quote tweeted Yair Lapid to be like, "Yo, please don't do this. Don't do this. We don't need to do that. The oil refineries are one thing. If you want to paralyze the IRGC, just take out their tankers because that's how they move it anywhere, anyways." So I was wondering what your commentary was on that. And finally, I have some good news. And the other good news is I have another friend whose relative had been imprisoned in Evin since the 12-day war because she made like she was posting in support of Israel in the 12-day war. So she's been in prison for months before all this went down. She was just released. So
Wow.
yay, really, really
Amazing.
happy news. Okay, so that was the end of
Do
my
you know what? By the way, this is a good that's amazing news. Do you know why they're because I heard some other news about some prisoners being released. We know this is not because Islamic Republic all of a sudden, became kind or something like that. But why are they releasing some prisoners? This is very interesting
I
that
have
they're
no
doing this.
idea. Both of them were Baha'i and
Mhm.
originally arrested and, freaking kidnapped by the regime as part of a crackdown on the Baha'i community in general. Maybe they're like, we got bigger fish to fry right now. But that's the
Maybe they
only
need the
like,
room for more important security threats.
dude.
Yeah.
It's
I
also
haven't
about
I haven't heard
signaling. I
the
just wanted to cut in and say that it's about signaling too. Like, oh yeah, look, we have been releasing some prisoners. We haven't executed them all. Like, so I
I,
think it's that part too. Then yeah.
my guess is that they need the manpower and staff for people who are actually security threats right now. Somebody who's a Baha'i is arresting them is mostly like enforcing their own Islamic ideology, and they're like, okay, you're not a threat right now. Get out of here. We need this place for someone else. I think that would be the reason.
I mean, what's the point of demonizing a Baha'i when you have like actual Israeli strikes coming down on you? You know what I mean? Like, but that's
Yeah, yeah.
besides the
Well,
point.
actually, that's a good point. No, that's a good point because Baha'is are accused of being Israeli spies. So, what is the point of just fakely like accusing somebody of as being an Israeli spies when you have Israelis basically killing you left and right? You have real Israelis attacking you right now, so fake Israelis could take a back seat. That's a good point. Yeah, right. Okay, okay. So, yeah, with regards to the health concern, I mean, the few messages that is coming out of Iran that I'm getting at least, I'm pretty sure some people are upset or concerned. I feel like there's always an example of everything, right? But from my connections, what I see is this is not enough. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, I saw a video of this woman going past a calendary and recording it and saying, "You guys missed this one. Why is this one still standing?" Right, guys, giving the address, like the woman was driving by recording the commentary, like the police station. It was like giving the address, recording, and giving with her own voice while he's driving, giving the address, like, guys, BB, like, what this is, like, you guys missed this one, please. Like, so a lot of Iranians are eager for this to escalate even more. And honestly, again, this might be my network of friends. Hellish apocalyptic images coming from Tehran, to them that's a sign of escalation and a sign that things are moving faster. And if you tell them, like, oh my god, your health, you're breathing this in, They're gonna be like, guys, we've been breathing in polluted air for the past couple of decades because of the type of oil that the Islamic Republic burns in its factories, and also the Bitcoin mining that they do, and the dirty fuel that they burn. So going over maybe 3 days of some more polluted air, if that's what's required to get rid of the Islamic Republic, you're like, oh, it's bad for your health. You're like, you know what's bad for your health? The Islamic Republic is bad for your health, right? So they're like, a lot of them are going to be like, yeah, we're willing to go through this. Again, I'm sure you're going to be able to find some people who are upset that were like, oh my God, why is this happening? Stop. Why are you hitting these fuel storages? Like for example, but what I'm hearing is like, you guys are not hitting enough. I mean, the people I'm in touch with is like, hey, if there's an IRGC next to me, or IRGC in person next to me, and I'm there, and my family is next to me, strike us all out. If it means that he's going to die as well, they're willing to pay whatever price necessary to take out the Islamic Republic. At least those are the messages that I'm getting. It's interesting because he's very close to Princess of Pahlavi, and he says certain things that seems to be more critical sometimes, even before, for example, these military operations started. He was posting messages by saying that, oh, if they don't attack, this is going to be really bad for relationships between Iranian people and Israel and United States. But then when it comes to Princess of Pahlavi himself, you saw that the messages were a lot less critical, right? So given how close he is to Princess of Pahlavi, I wonder that he puts some of the concerns there that are not the that need to maybe sometimes be said, but shouldn't be the model that the rest of us copy. You know what I mean? Because you don't hear those messages coming from Princess of Pahlavi. So I wonder if that's what his uh utility is right now, to say the because some people might even criticize Princess of Pahlavi for why you didn't criticize this, why you didn't criticize that, right? So having somebody like that say that on the record might be a good way to have that on the record without actually having somebody as important as Princess of Pahlavi take a critical position against any of these operations.
But what's your opinion on the strikes on, oil refineries, depots in general, either the one that happened or if they occur in the future?
And I found
I think the Israelis have really quickly.
you
I'm
want
going
to
to say
reference
this
it.
and then we move on. Sorry, what?
I found the tweet that Susanna is talking about if you want to reference it, and I put it in the
Oh,
chat.
okay. Can you post it? Yeah, thank you, thank you.
And
Um,
I also confirmed that the translation is accurate.
okay. Okay, so this is. Do you have Said Qasemi-Nejad's report response to this? And Israel must Israel. So Yair Lapid said Israel must destroy all of Iran's oil fields. Yeah, this is not good. All of it, oil field and energy industry. Where is this? On which island is this? That is on a specific island. So maybe if it's okay, I thought it was talking about Iran's all of their oil fields. If I don't know if it's on a specific island, I don't know if this is going to be as devastating as I thought. I have to look and see. That is what will cripple Iran's economy and topple the regime. This war must end when the regime in Iran has fallen. The nuclear facilities have been destroyed. All of the ballistic missile industry has been destroyed, and Hezbollah has been destroyed in Lebanon. Okay, so again, obviously we prefer for the Islamic Republic to fall without any of these damages to Iran's energy, so that we have this ready for us to rebuild after the war is over. I guess with regards to whether this is a good idea or not a good idea, depends if it's necessary. If it's necessary, we're for it. If it's not necessary, obviously we prefer for those to be spared. I don't think we have enough intelligence to be able to decide here whether or not whether that's necessary. And again, that would seem to be the oil fields in a specific island. It's not talking about taking out all of the oil fields. Again, if necessary, then yes. If not, then no. I think we're not in a position to judge. But no, I know for a fact that if it's necessary, the Iranian people, the vast majority of the Iranian people, would be for it. We need to go. So, Jeffrey, if you want to say just like 30 seconds, if you can. Yeah.
So Kharg Island is actually where the Mullah regime, it constitutes 85, 95% of the Mullah regime's oil exports that pass through that island. It has large storage tanks. And as far as like the Israelis striking the oil production, they're not doing it to punish Iranian people. It's designed to sit there and economically choke out the Mullah regime from its only resource it can use to leverage or bribe Putin's criminalized counterintelligence state or the Chinese Communist Party to continue their support and thereby bring a quicker conclusion to this war and minimize the amount of pain that the Mullah regime is going to try to inflict upon the Iranian people, and all of which would be rebuilt very quickly after the Mullah regime is gone.